Overnight, President Trump issuing a sweeping new travel ban, barring people from a dozen countries, primarily in Africa and the Middle East, from entering the U.S.
We will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm.
The president citing national security threats, including this week's terror attack in Boulder, Colorado.
By the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them.
In his first term, the president barred travel from several Muslim-majority countries, but those bans faced a series of legal setbacks. And it's one of a flurry of executive actions President Trump took last night, including a new broad investigation into his one-time political rival, former President Biden. Democrats call it a distraction from new criticism to President Trump's signature budget bill.
But it is chiefly in service of trying to get us all talking about that, or talking about the Biden investigation they launched today, instead of talking about the centerpiece of this story, which is this bill.
President Trump ordering his administration to investigate whether Biden's aides, quote, conspired to deceive the public about the former president's mental state, and to look into Biden's alleged use of an autopen to sign documents. But President Trump is now using the issue to open a broader, sweeping investigation, ordering the government to look into many of Biden's actions, including appointments and pardons, arguing they are not valid. President Trump's presented no evidence that Biden was unaware of any actions taken in his name, and the autopen is common in Washington and legal for the president to use. Earlier this year, President Trump saying he's occasionally used it himself.
Only for very unimportant papers.
Former President Biden saying in a statement overnight, "Let me be clear, I made the decisions during my presidency. I made the decisions about the pardons, executive orders, legislation, and proclamations. Any suggestion that I didn't is ridiculous and false." To this day, former President Biden and his allies argue that he was fit to serve. And about President Trump's complaint about Biden's use of the autopen, former President Biden is dismissing that as, quote, nothing more than a distraction by Donald Trump and congressional Republicans. Craig and Savannah.
Meanwhile, Peter, it looks like this rift between President Trump and the world's wealthiest man, Elon Musk, over the president's budget bill. Looks like that rift continues to grow a bit. What more can you tell us about that?
It is definitely intensified. We're just days removed from that Oval Office send-off, and now Elon Musk is ratcheting up his campaign against the president's top legislative priority on back-to-back days now, teeing off on President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill. Musk writing, "Call your senators, call your congressmen," punctuating it in all caps, writing, "Kill the bill." That bill that's already passed the House, now in the hands of the Senate, would extend the president's 2017 tax cuts, primarily benefiting the wealthy. It would spend billions on the military and border security, and would impose new work requirements for Medicaid. Musk's complaint, Craig, now echoed by nonpartisan budget experts, is that it will significantly increase the deficit. Musk argues it is debt slavery for the American people. The president's allies say President Trump is not delighted by Musk's attacks, but that the bill has to get passed. Craig.
All right. Our Chief White House Correspondent, Peter Alexander. Peter, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC, or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.